All right, we are live. Excellent, 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 excellent. We are going to talk about the Rldl Booyah challenge that heated up today. That's going to be the discussion today. We are almost midway through the challenge. So we've got fishing in officially for Sunday, Monday, and today. Have a couple to verify if they've got anything. So looking for that leaderboard to get updated. People are moving. We got people that got their first full basket in. So just a wait here. Let a couple people jump on board here live. We again are live talking about the Rldl Booyah Challenge. So today was a great day across the board. Lots of good things going on. So yes, today was the day. Things are heating up. They are heating up. The Rldl Booyah Challenge, which is all about one bait, the Booyah Pond Magic spinnerbait. Mother Nature took you out today. Oh man, tons of rain. Tons of rain are coming for us tomorrow. They're coming tomorrow. Yeah. But even tomorrow, if we get tons of rain, I think got one little magic thing that might work. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, looks like we added 3 of the contestants today got a full bag. 3 contestants got 3 fish in their repertoire now to add to Trey at FishSmack, who had 3 before. And haven't got an update yet from PuddleWalkers, so I don't know if they fished today. Otherwise, they still had 2. But Live to Fish, Joe added in 3 today. Real Feel added his second and third, and Reece Life Dad Life got our 3rd, and then upgraded our other 2. So super excited about that. Good day across the board. It was great to see more contestants get on the board and start moving around, making it a true challenge. We don't want it to be all lopsided. So someone will show up. Who's going to finish strong? That's going to be a big question. So that is going to be the question of the day. So it's all about the Booyah Pond Magic Firebug, which is a unique color bait. Till today, I almost wanted to put it on a big stump and hit it with a sledgehammer, because I was not doing well with it. So we are super glad that that we started getting bites today, and it just took off. So maybe we're making that switch. And today was really crazy. So we started early in the morning, and fog. Went around a local pond, didn't get a single bite. Reece and I went out to lunch, got some ice cream, got some good stuff going, and then we went around the pond, no bites. And then we switched ponds this evening, and we got bites. We got lots of action. So it'll be a fun video. Fun video. Super exciting to bring that out here soon, about what we did, how we did it. Reece actually beat me on the biggest bass today. He had a 14.5, and I only got 14 and a quarter. So that little stinker. He was fishing for bluegills and caught a couple whoppers. One was 9.5 inches, almost 10 inches, big old bluegills today. He was just singing to them, and all of a sudden he sets the hook into a big old bass with this little crappie jig that he had on, and away he went. So that was pretty cool. Good day across the board. And this challenge has been a true challenge for all of us. We've got weather. We've got, maybe our spring calendars are behind a couple weeks from what they were last year. I know ours is because I was looking at pictures and where we are and what's going on, and it's crazy how just a little bit of time, 1 year and some different weather, and all of a sudden we're not to the point we are. But we've got it kind of odd, but we've got a lot of opportunity to see some cool nature. Saw a snapping turtle, saw, I don't know, like a half dozen turkeys the other day. That was pretty crazy. All flying across the river in front of me. It was pretty dang cool. Lost a smallmouth bass, third one of the year. That was tough. That was a tough one. But to be honest, it felt good thinking back that, here we are, we're actually doing it. And it's real. I mean, we're really fishing, really having a good time. And Reece was getting bummed out at first because we weren't totally getting in on things. When he was with us, we weren't catching fish. Things were tough. But today it started to move. Things started to happen, and that was awesome. Hey, Bugly, glad to have you here with us today. Again, today, I'm gonna use like golf metaphor today. Today was moving day on the Booyah Challenge. So moving day for sure for some of the contestants that hadn't been up on the top of the charts yet, or even not on the board yet. Reece unfortunately is in bed, which is sad. I know he needs some jokes. Oh, I know. That kid needs his sleep. He goes to bed at 7:30, and if we let him, he would stay in bed till 9:30 the next day. The kid needs his sleep. I think we work him hard, evidently. But yeah, super. He had a blast today. That kid was singing to the bluegills, something fierce. And again, he beat me on the bass today. Dang it. Like, I needed a 14.5 one, not a 14.25. And that kid, he just set the hook and he's like, Dad, I got a big one, big one. I'm like, dang on crap. You got a real big one. Look at that. So, but that's just how things go. But again, like, today's moving day. So 3 channels went, one channel went from 0 fish to 3. That was Live the Fish. So Joe, he turned in a full bag today and got on the board, got things started. That was excellent. So happy for him that he got things rolling. Getting that towards the middle of the week, he's already got a full bag. Things are, upgrades from here. Real Feel Fishing filled out their bag. They had 1 fish yesterday. They caught the other 2 today that they needed to fill up the bag. So now they're in upgrade mode. We caught our 3rd fish and then upgraded the other 2 today. And so things are happening, and I haven't seen the video yet to know whether he was on in the ultra skiff or not. But he's catching fish. I'd have to look back. He sent me some pictures, and I don't look at him that close to see where he was fishing from. So maybe I should pull those up and answer that question real quick here. I know he is right here. Let's look at them pictures and see where he was at. He was on the ultra skiff today, boys and girls. He was on the ultra skiff today, catching those fish. So he got out, It was sunny out there. Things looked good. Things were well. So this has just been, again, it's moving day. Things are happening. Weather's going to hit us hard tomorrow. So we're supposed to have a blast of rain tomorrow. So we'll see what's happening. But I think what happened is it opened the fishing up today, which was great. We finally got cloudy, overcast weather, warm weather, just enough to let that spinnerbait really sing to the fish, and they just started biting like crazy. So we got into them. We didn't get a big one, so we still got that to work towards at the end of the week. So from here on, it's upgrade time. We're going to go hunting for big fish now. So we'll see what's up with that. But again, moving day, things are tightening up. It's becoming a true tournament, one where anybody, and I mean anybody, can catch a couple special fish and be right where they need to be. So I really think that's probably the big takeaway, that today, that things are moving in the right direction for sure. So let's see here. Let's double check the phone, make sure nothing else is going on here. All right. So talk about the challenge a little bit, talk about experiences so far. So if you watch the videos that we put out so far, the bait itself is extremely castable, which is great because you can cover water like crazy with it. It is perfect for that light, medium light action spinning setup, which is great. And the fire tiger or the firebug color evidently finds its home in kind of that off-colored water, cloudy day, little wind chop on the water type situations where you're not necessarily going to get the flash out of a silver or gold blade, but that color will cut through. It appears to also be a friend to large white bass, which until today, if we could have counted white bass, our stringer would have been fairly decent. Yeah, it's definitely a super castable bait, and I think it's because it's compact. I don't recall. I don't think I recall the bigger spinner baits going that far. And you definitely, if they get too big, you don't need heavier rods, medium, heavy, to get the full value out of them because they're just too much. Yeah, for sure, it's can just bomb them. Today we had it was just a perfect situation. Had a bank, there was a little breeze behind us, and I don't know, I could throw it a million miles, seemed like. And that is a big factor with a bait. And the fact that there's other colors that may work better in different situations. I think the Booyah Pond Magic bait itself has an extreme value as a fishing bait, and it, the lighter weight allows you to fish it a lot slower, but not get a lot of depth. Which, if you're fishing ponds and creeks and little rivers and stuff like that, that's important. You don't want it to be up down in the muck or getting stuck on stuff necessarily. So I think that's a big deal on its own. Just thinking that as what you want it to do. You can just put your rod tip up, reel it in slowly, and it stays a foot or two off the bottom. And that's the way to go. Yeah, for sure. That's castability. Let's say castability. This bait is compact. It flies like a little bullet. So super excited about that. And I think the true test is if you could have gone back with a different color of the pond magic and tried this areas that you weren't lucky at before with the firebug color, and use like a white or a chartreuse with the silver blades on them, um, or one of those more like, I don't know, darker black colors or whatever, you might find that each one of them catches fish in different colors of water. I know the very first day we went out, we went pond hopping, which is one of our favorite things to do for bass fishing. And it seemed like the water was just too clear on that first sunny day, and it wasn't warm enough, and the bass just didn't want to move. We'd actually seen a few of the bass and they just didn't want to go. That snapping turtle, we literally I tapped it with the fishing pole and it didn't want to move. Nobody wanted to move. I almost hit a bass with the spinner bait coming through, and it just ran away. It was like, no, I don't want to be chased down. That's ridiculous. So um, I was fishing a wide creek Sunday, and I could put it on the other bank if I wanted to. Yeah, that there is. I wish I had my reel today. There, a lot of what I do for fishing, I like to focus on like getting the most distance as possible. So it's why I fell in love with braided line. But I actually found a little bit more superior light tackle line that I really like, and that's what I have. That's what I'm using with this bait on my light action spinning rod, um, and that is the Berkeley unifilament line. I was gonna look it up to get the official name on it. Fishing line. Sure. Last time I looked it up, it was the first thing that showed up, and now it is not. Nano, the Berkeley Nanofill is what I'm using. Um, the combination of light action and the Firebug's weight, which is, I think it's 3/16, if I recall. I don't have one with me at the moment. They're my fishing best. Somehow I have not lost but one. I lost one bait. And that's because my line broke, which was super weird. It had nothing to do. I didn't even get a tangle. I think it was some sort of like weird wind knot for making too long of casts, evidently. Um, so that was kind of crazy. But that the Berkeley Nanofill with a spinning reel on light action with this bait is a true long casting thing. And I would totally agree with FishSmack. As I said, if you wanted to fish across the body of water, you could do that. As a matter of fact, I kind of had to like slow down a couple of times because I kept hitting the bank. So you kind of get like that. And after you make a cast of so many times, you seem like you can be able to stop it right at 3 feet off the bank. And keep things going. And that's what it was. It was super fun. Super fun to get to use the bait. I mean, there was about all the time that I was wishing I picked a different color until today. And then, maybe none of the colors would work. I don't know. Could have just been too much for the fish and just needed to do something. But I think a variety of them would definitely get the action, definitely get what you were expecting out of a small pond fishability context. That was great. So, but again, today is all about moving. The board tightened up, and I can't wait to put the board. I haven't put the numbers on it yet. I did plug them into the awesome spreadsheet. And I don't know. I don't think on here I can share my screen. Otherwise, I would do that. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure that PuddleWalkers isn't turning in something or not. I don't know. I wish they were here just to make sure that they didn't have a fish on, because they have two very big fish, but then they haven't done a lot of fishing. I think they said they were going to fish today, so I don't know. Maybe they're still fishing. Um, who knows? Um, but it was super cool to see Live to Fish, Real Feel, and us get up there. I think the numbers are, I think we got Trey at 45.5 inches. We've got oh yeah, next is us at 42.75 inches. Then Live to Fish, Real Feel Fishing is next at 39. Live to Fish is at 38.5, and PuddleWalkers is at 33.75. And unfortunately, Fishing Adventures and Random Things is not on the board, and they had a bait issue and weren't able to. Their bait broke. The only one they had broke, and they're trying to order one. Somehow, when they were casting it, the top blade, the long willow blade, fell off, and I don't. Yeah, that's just crazy. So I don't know what's going on there. But yes. Hey, Live the Fish. Welcome, 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 welcome. Big day for you today. Getting on the board, full slate. That's just awesome. Yeah, just reading some comments here. Yeah. So after PuddleWalkers went out and got those two super nice smallmouth bass, and they said, yeah, fish along the undercut banks. I literally did that for what seemed like, well, it's about 3/4 of a mile. And I didn't get anything. And I had my one super special spot, and I lost that smallmouth bass. And I don't know how big it was, but it was about the same size as the bass I caught today, which now it's in the history, so that's always good. Shoot, I'm sorry that hopefully you get a window of time to fish again. I'm glad that you got out there though. That was super awesome, and to get out there and catch 3 fish, um, that's it's not been easy here, and we're south of you, and having better conditions, and they're not biting. So getting out there and putting the screws to them while you can, is all what it's all about. And who knows, special fish might just be in your order next. So as I said, as we get closer to things, that as we get closer to the end of the week, it's going to be about that 1 or 2 special fish. What is that going to look like? So right now, Trey, you got the big fish at 18. I know, the PuddleWalkers, they put it right back, that they don't have to outdo you again. So it's out there, and that fish is swimming in the waters for which we fish, for each one of us, really. And we know that. I know we know that. And it's just, will it bite this bait when we get a chance to fish? Will it bite this bait when we get a chance to fish? Um, it's uncertain, but they definitely can. There's definitely fish out there. The kicker is out swimming around, and we got to go get it now. And that's where this tournament's going to end up. It's kind of fun that it's lasting over a period of time instead of just one day. So whatever you come back with is what you get. That is in some ways a lot of fun, but also at the same time, it's a lot of stress. So I think it's fun just to see that go, and keep things moving. So yeah, we're going to be hopefully busting the kayak out on Friday. I think that's the goal. Friday afternoon, the kayak is going to get out. We're going to try the trolling motor out, get things going there. I think we're all ready for that. We're going to go to the place where I caught my PB last year, and we're going to give it a shot. So that's my goal. Hopefully on Friday we'll get to do that. Saturday I've got an interesting opportunity, as long as we don't get some major flooding tomorrow. But I will get to do my first guided fishing trip. Put my name out as part of a silent auction item for our local downtown revitalization group, and was super excited that somebody spent way more money than I thought it was worth to come fishing with me. So Saturday afternoon I will be doing that, and we're going to go looking for some crappies. So if the weather is right, we might be carrying around a minnow bucket and seeing if we can get into some slabs. So hopefully it works out that way. Otherwise, we have a fallback date in early May to give a shot to as well. So, but I'm excited. I'm a little nervous about it, but I think it's going to be a fun opportunity to do and support good causes here in hometown. So, all right. So Trey, you're going to be on the boat. Yeah, because of the flooding and stuff. This time of year, it seems like flooding is the name of the game. You need flooding to help the fish move up into their creeks and the rivers from their lakes and reservoirs, but you don't like it at the same time because you can't fish. And it seems like every other year, the magic time of fishing, when the white bass move and the smallmouths are moving and the crappies are coming up the creeks and all that good stuff. About every other year, the flooding just totally trashes that. And you get like one little chance and it's not the perfect time. And then, so we have no idea what this year is going to be like. Again, it's late here. I know it's late because I've looked at the pictures, and the trees are nearly as many buds on them. Leaf out isn't nearly as far along as it's been in the past, and that's just the name of the game. And you pick dates. I picked the Rldl Booyah challenge dates based on the last 2 years' successes, when things really started to happen here, as kind of a midway point. And it's not exactly the way it is, but I don't know, today was that kind of magical day. I think there's a front moving in, and we had some good conditions there, and it started to happen for a little bit. So who knows? We're going to keep trying. I think each one of us is kind of geared in to push to the very end. Oh, no, here's a little sweetheart. Harper, you want to come say hi? Come here. Come here. Come here. Now our night owl, my daughter Harper, she is our night owl. So while Reece needs tons of sleep, this girl doesn't sleep. You say hi?
Hi. Hi.
Say hi to everybody.
How about
Yeah, why do you need binkies? Are you sleeping? You don't need binkies.
Hi. Hi, buddy. Binky.
What are you going to do with that binky? Going to go to sleep? Oh, there you go. All right. Yeah, so you have 2 kids and they're both completely different from each other, it's super fun. No, she might come back. Who knows? You don't come back? You don't come back and say hi again? Yeah, I won't take your binky away if you come back and say hi. No, you're going night-night? Okay.
I love you.
Want to give me a hug? No, too scary, isn't it? Too scary. Come here. Oh, yeah, you're going to play this game, aren't you? Oh, thank you. Mwah. You don't go tonight? You don't go to bed? All right. Go to bed.
No, no,
Enjoy. Yeah, you're gonna go sleep in mommy's bed. Of course you are. Of course you are. Daddy will have to move you. Mwahaha. All right. So back to the action. So hey, so those of us that are in the challenge, if you want to share what your kind of plans are for the rest of the week, with the group, we can talk about that. It's been a lot of stress to get started, catching one fish per day, and barely that until today. Again, I'll vouch. I said that this afternoon. I told Reece, right now I want to take this silly little Firebug bait, and I want to put it on a stump, and I want to hit it with a sledgehammer. That's where I was feeling at the moment. And then we had this evening, and hey, that's fishing. So things are good. But yeah, it's I felt for a little bit like, shoot, dude, you're the guy that picked the dang bait. You had the whole store to pick the color, and you picked one that you thought, well, it's going to be a challenge. And then you're frustrated with yourself for, oh, it's actually a super challenge. The fish literally were running away from it on day one. Literally. 2 fish I saw, the bait went right by them. Watched the whole thing. They left. They didn't look at it. They didn't turn. They did nothing but run away. And I was like, this is not going to be a great way of starting things off. Not going to be what we wanted to see. So hard lessons there. But, dang it. Should have picked that safe color, that white, that chartreuse bait, and let everybody go after that. But you know what? It's paid off. And I had the joke. We bought out the entire stock at our local Walmart. And when we started this thing, and then they didn't have any, and so we ended up ordering our extras from Cabela's. They weren't super expensive, so grab them there. So I go in the Walmart the other day, and it's completely stocked, as if they're like, holy crap, this bait, it's got to be like the most popular bait in the world. We completely sold out of it, and who knows? I mean, today, maybe everybody will love this bait by the time we're done, because holy crap, look at the bags they put together. I don't know. It may actually end up that way. And yeah, it's stretching, it's growing. I have put the miles on, trying to catch fish with this thing. And that has been good for me for a couple reasons. One, yeah, soon they'll be on clearance, so keep your eyes out. At Walmart, they definitely, at our Walmart, they will. If they don't sell, they'll be on clearance. I was frustrated because I went out and bought a tip up on the end of ice fishing season. You know what? I could have just not bought it. The very next week, everything that was in the ice fishing section was in clearance. And I'm like, well, that's crap. I literally was telling Reece, I'd be like, I have $20. I can buy this and I can buy that, but we can't buy that. And you should have just waited and bought it. But we did catch a nice bluegill on the tip up. We didn't get the bass we were looking for, but hey, that's how life works. You gamble a little bit and get what you're going to do. So, but yeah, find them on clearance. It's either they're going to be bought out because our videos are inspiring people to use this bait, or they're going to be like, oh my gosh, nobody wants that bait. But I think today, and just seeing how I think Trey, you're kind of a perfect example to this. As the season progresses, the spinnerbait until spawn has a very magic window when fish are going to inhale it. And really the biggest fish are going to love spinner baits because it looks like what they're going to eat. And I think that's super good. But you got to be in that window, and it's a fine window. I know, remember last year, um, getting into that when I was out trying to catch a muskie and kept catching big bass instead. But that spinner bait that I had on and the kind of medium sized inline spinner that I had were just the right bait at the right time to catch the big bass. And if you can get that window, but it happens sometime in April, most of the time for us here in North Indiana. So, it'll be different next year. It might come early, and the years might all the way be into May. But the spinnerbait is a key piece of the repertoire to try to keep things going. And I am a true believer in it. I love fishing spinner baits as that kind of search bait to try to find things and figure out what's working and where the fish are. Um, though I will tell you that I'll probably less likely to use it from here on, because the next thing I want to do, and let's see if anybody else agrees, is to try to move to the toad. In the spring, right before spawn, when the bass start coming out of the water for baits, the toad is bomb. So spinnerbait is right before they're willing to come up to the surface, but the toad is when they're ready to smash it. Now the whopper plopper is definitely another thing. It was like eating soup with chopsticks. We are like the opposites of that pendulum there, because to me casting gear is exactly like you say, and for you spinning gear is. And that's funny, Joe. That's great. um I just love a spinning reel. Matter like, and it's kind of crazy because um I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, I went and bought casting gear and went out to try to use it, and I think I ended up selling at a garage sale the next year. And I was so ingrained in fishing with spinning gear, and just the just seeing that you fit on that. I wondered, have you tried you had that light action casting gear, casting reel that you were trying out. I wonder if that would get some decent action with this bait. I know the bigger spinner baits for sure, like the casting gear, but I don't know. Maybe that's something to take a look at for sure, if that would do it. Yeah, the toad, and super excited to try that Zeman toad. Thanks for sending me a pack, Joe. That was I'm super excited about that. I've tried the ribbit before, and it's okay. Um, and I've also tried the rage tail, but the rage tail, it's almost like too much action. And every time you get a bite, they lose a leg. And then the bait looks really dumb in the water with only one leg flipping around. Um, I don't know. It couldn't keep it together very long. I think the fish loved it, and it was like a super slow running because it made so much splash. Um, but So I'm excited about yeah. So I have the one that I have not tried is the Guggen toad. So at some point in time, we'll have to get me a bag of those to compare along the board. But I've always been, I like telling people what I fish with and be like, so what were you using the other day? It was like the Zoom horny toad. Like, what? Fish with a horny toad? What the heck? Well, it's actually a real toad. It's the name of the frog, not something inappropriate. But I like telling people that. But I've been that is my go-to. And I started using it for largemouth bass, and then I took it to Minnesota one time and started fishing for smallmouth bass in super skinny water on top of reefs and points around the islands and stuff. And I kept catching fish after fish, and other people weren't able to catch them. I was like, this thing sings the smallmouth bass. Um, and so it really has multiple actions, but I'm super excited about the Z-Man. I'm gonna have to try the Guggen as well. But altogether, um, I think the whole package is for me as the owner of Twist Lock hooks, that the 4/0 size is just perfect. And sometimes I use the 3/0, especially for smallmouth. Seems sometimes that little hook does a little bit better, but in Minnesota, the way they strike for whatever reason, the bigger hook and not doing weedless at all is the way to go, especially when they're jumping. Seem to lose a lot of fish fishing the toad when the fish jumps and you get to see the toad fly. I don't know why that happens with them, but this is part of the name of the game. Um, but great day today for the challenge. Um, getting that feeling that it's going to heat up, and it's anybody's game right now on what can happen. I truly feel that way. I feel that the special fish is for everyone. It's out there. It's out there to get, and ready to see what the rest of the week goes. I know for us, yeah. Yeah, that video, those screw lock hooks with the center pin are exactly what owner uses, which is what I like. Originally, I bought the other brand, but it's just a screw lock and doesn't have the pin in it. And that pin makes all the difference on getting the bait in there correctly to me. I think it just helps you speed that process along versus the Gamakatsu, who has just like the individual screw and not the center pin to it. But yeah, that Amazon order just allows you to make any hook into that kind of superior um, fishing bait. And I like to use that with worms. I like to use it with creature baits, any long bait, but especially with the toads. So it all started there. So almost every bag that I have of soft plastics, except for like crawfish imitation stuff and twister tails, the owner twist lock is in that bag. So, but yeah, I definitely need a big hook with those, with a wide enough gap to get that stuck in a fish. Um, that's one of the things I like with spinner baits. I feel that if you get the fish on, you don't lose as many, unless if it's a smallmouth bass. It's the only fish that you catch that one day, and then of course you lose that one. But whatever, not gonna be sore anymore. Ha ha ha! But I'll get to relive it every time I remember that video. So it's all right. It's all good. It's all good. You gotta make fun of yourself sometimes to have a good time fishing. And if you didn't have bad days, you wouldn't appreciate the good days. Every day you just went out and fished and caught fish left and right, you wouldn't feel that same way. And that's what great thing about fishing is you go through slumps. The weather's terrible, and then you have a magic day. And that is what it's all about. So, hey, I'm hoping straight to the point. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm hopping in to say hey and hit the like but I've got to head out for work soon. Good luck on the rest of the week, y'all. Hey, thanks for coming in. Appreciate that. This is kind of like the craziest thing. We are two local guys from the same county. We fish the same exact water, and we've never ran into each other. It's going to happen this year, I swear it. We're going to be fishing at the same place. Literally on the first day of the challenge, we fished the same stretch of the same river, looking for the same dang fish, which is kind of funny. It's kind of funny. But he's inspired me quite a bit to push myself to do more smallmouth bass fishing here locally, just by what he's doing. Great things on his channel, and just showing the resource that we have. And I think that's big and key. And his channel's awesome. Took a little hiatus over the winter, but he's back. So can't wait to see what he throws together as the season progresses. So we are right in Northeast Indiana. Literally feels like we're near the beginning of the big time, and we're so close. I mean, the trees are starting to bud, and a lot of people talk about water temperature. I look at the trees. I've never had a water gauge, no water temperature. Don't hardly look at those. I know there's some lakes that have water temp information, but I believe fully that when certain trees start to bud, especially when the woods start to grow leaves, that's when the fish turn on. And you just have to hit it hard when that happens. And we're not there yet. We're not there. Things are just starting to green up here, but they're not quite to the right spot. So that's a big thing for me. I love every year tracking how those things, where they are, and going from there to big time fishing. And that happens, and I can't wait to get into that time. Unfortunately, we're not there right now, which is fine. It's fine. That means that it's still coming. The horizon, we're not there yet. I want to catch some nice crappies this year. That is a big goal. So hopefully Saturday afternoon, we'll be doing that. I love crappie fishing, though I need to learn a bunch more about it. I'm not super great at it, which is kind of crazy, that almost everyone around here is a crappie fisherman. But I grew up being a bass fisherman my entire life, and to switch over and do something that is more finesse, and a different scale, there's been a lot of what I've tried to take away from YouTubers, about how to slow down, how to figure things out, and that's been a lot. Just thinking about how to become a better crappie fisherman, and I know how to put a minnow on a bobber and catch crappies when they're biting. I know how to do that. It's like a foregone conclusion, and I love doing that. But the soft plastics game, I've recently learned a lot from one of our contestants with PuddleWalkers Outdoors. I feel that I've learned more from Greg about crappie fishing this year than all the past combined, about how to slow down. And today I will say that, we went out and got different types of baits, different weights of jigs, different types of presentations, because after watching his videos and being successful, really took it to the next level. And I thought, just say that today Reece did it. Reece did it with big old bluegill. If you haven't looked at the pictures we posted today, Reece caught a couple that were nigh on 10 inches long, that were like little footballs, that you could hardly put your hand around. And I think that's kind of the key, that when you get going and the going gets good, the soft plastics can easily play right at with, or even better than the live bait can. And I've seen a lot of situations where people can just fish circles around me for crappie um, because of that. So it's just something to, yeah, they were super tanks. Reese is like, that is the biggest bluegill I've ever caught in my life. And it's hard to argue with him. I'm not fairly certain that he's ever caught a 10-inch bluegill before. So, yeah, he's got some big crappies before that were bigger than that, but not bluegills for sure. It and then that stinker, which is it's happened every time he's fished with me because I'll be throwing the spinnerbait out. I'll be fishing our magic booyah spinnerbait, and he'll be fishing something else, and he has outfished me. Well, let's see, day one, or yeah, day two when I picked him up. We went out fishing, and he was using the Ned rig, and boom, he catches a bass. I'm like, are you kidding me? I've been around the whole pond and caught one 10-inch long largemouth bass, and you pop one that's 13 or 14. And today I'm catching 4 1/4, 4 1/4, 4 1/4, 14 and a half. Little stinker. The only fish that measured differently that we caught, other than some that were 13 or 12 and a half, that little stinker, he got it again. And I don't know, he has that knack of catching the best fish. I'll tell you that. That's him for a T. You'll be fishing, catching fish, and then you'll turn around and he's got something huge on, and you're like, "Holy crap! What are you doing, boy?" And I don't know, he just knows when to throw the bait out. That's just him. Someday, I'm sure I'll do what my dad did, and he'll be like, "You're a better fisherman than I was." And I hope someday he can fish circles around me. So that is, and it's starting. I mean, when we go out, he'll catch the biggest smallmouth bass, or he'll catch the most bluegill, or Hoochin caught Big Mama, our favorite named bass, which hopefully is like 18 and a half or 19 inches long now. Yes. Have a good night's rest. Yes, Reese is a total natural. I appreciate that. Thank you. Some people have said some contestants and others have said some really nice things to me about what we're doing with this, and I greatly appreciate that. It's it's because of the community. That's what it's all about. And I definitely say that it's hard to say, but just thanks to everybody that's chose to participate. When I started, like when I sent the mailer out and threw that out there, I wasn't entirely sure that everybody would say yes. And then a couple of people said yes, and then everybody said yes, and I was like, "Game on! We're going to do this," and that was so cool. And so I can't say thanks enough because it's been a blast. I've enjoyed every evening of this. Um, while it seems a little bit like work, I love putting data and charts and stuff, and putting the leaderboard together. That is super fun. Um, and I will share at the end the moving graph that I've got that shows where everybody started at and then where they ended at. As you can see, of the people come and pass each other and do all that stuff, and it's been great. So with that, thanks for hanging in there with me. I think we're going to wrap up here as well. I call it a day. It's been great. We're a little short. Tomorrow will be the halfway mark in the challenge. I wish everybody best. Hope everybody catches some big ones. I hope that chart keeps moving and getting numbers get bigger so that we can have one heck of an end result for the challenge. So with that, thank you, everyone. FishSmack Trey, thank you so much. Next time we drive through Tennessee, we'll stop and see you. Hopefully not at 3 a.m. in the morning, though. Um, definitely awesome. Thanks, everyone. Wish you the best. We will touch back maybe, I don't know, think about doing something later in the week or not. Definitely after the challenge is done, I do plan on going live. So we'll do that for sure, 100%. Otherwise, keep checking the post out. There will be a leaderboard update for this evening. So with that, thank you, everyone. Keep fishing and doing your thing, as Reece always says. Toodaloo.